We're back. This time we're taking a look at the last expansion from Wave 20. This one is the Romulan Attack Fighters, Scorpion 4 I believe is their name. And this is another one I borrowed from my friend, so we are missing a couple tokens. Did manage to pull out most of the stuff for this one because it wasn't that difficult to track down. But still don't know the target lock and things like that. Anyway, we're going to get in and take a look at what we got. First off, we have our Scorpion class attack squadron dial. First time we've gotten some fighters for the Romulans, so definitely nice there. There we have our Scorpion Attack Squadron maneuver card. Very slow topping out of the 3, but extremely maneuverable. Kind of disappointed they don't have more tight maneuvers in the 1 band. They have every maneuver in the 2 though, including a white comeabout, which is nice, and every maneuver in the 3s. Tight turns are red and the comeabout's red, but definitely that 2 white comeabout's really where it's at. Extremely maneuverable aside from lacking those 1 tight turns though. Here we have our named Scorpion 4 attack squadron. Now the stats are going to change throughout the game because they use the tokens just like the other fighters. But you start off with the ability to upgrade 3 squadron upgrades for 24 points. And you have evasive and target lock. And our special ability is if you attack during the round in which you performed a comeabout maneuver, during the modify attack dice step you may re-roll all of your blank results. Extremely nice there. And the name version starts with all 5 tokens. Then we have our generic Romulan attack fighters. You only get 2 upgrade slots for 20 points, and they only get 4 of the tokens. So in case you're not familiar with it, the way the tokens work on the fighters, this is how your Scorpion 4 squadron is going to start. 4 attack, 0 agility, 1 hull, 1 shield. The shields actually come back each time a token is removed. So you get hit, you lose a shield. If you take 2 damage, you lose a shield, a hull. This will go away. And then you start with your shield intact on this one. And your attack value goes down on them. And then you're going to take 2 more hits to knock that down. Eventually your agility will start going up. Your captain skill also goes down as you're losing tokens until your final stat line there is 2 attack, 3 agility, 1 hull, 1 shield. And then when that one's gone, the squadron is destroyed. For our squadron upgrades, we have thrusters for 3 points. During the activation phase, if your ship is not cloaked and you reveal a green maneuver on your maneuver dial, you may discard this card to add 1 to your maneuver speed. Next we have cloaked fighters. These pictures are really dark combined with the glare. You really can't see them. 4 points. Add the cloak action to your action bar. While your squadron is cloaked, you cannot perform a maneuver with a speed greater than 1. This upgrade can only be purchased for a Scorpion attack class squadron, and no ship may be equipped with more than 1 cloaked fighter upgrade. Next we have cover fire. 4 points. When defending, during the roll defense dice step, you may discard this card to add a number of defense dice to your roll equal to your current primary weapon value. No ship can be equipped with more than 1 cover fire upgrade. Pretty nice option there. Next we have focused strike. 5 points. If you damage an opposing ship's hull with a critical damage, you may discard this card to draw 3 damage cards instead of 1. Choose the one to place beside the enemy ship and discard the unused cards. No ship can be equipped with more than 1 focus strike. Really nice. It lets you go through and pick out what critical out of the 3 cards that you want. You can choose whatever one's more detrimental or beneficial to your situation at the time. Next we have hidden formation. 5 points. Adds a sensor echo action to your action bar. When performing a sensor echo action, you may only use the 1 maneuver template. If your squadron is cloaked after performing a sensor echo action, you may discard this card to immediately perform an additional sensor echo action as a free action. If you do so, place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. Added maneuverability to something that's already that maneuverable. The sensor echo is nice on its own, having to be the extra bonuses for being cloaked, but then you're paying 5 points for this and another 4 points for the cloaking device. Still interesting combo, some interesting ideas come to mind with that. Next we have support ship. 4 points. When your last attack squadron token is destroyed, discard this card instead of removing that token. No ship can be equipped with more than one support ship. Basically gives you 1 extra hit point on your ships for a cost of 4. Worth it in the end if you can keep them around that 1 extra turn. Next we have reconnaissance. 2 points. As an action you can place a scan token beside your ship and a auxiliary power token. Gives your fighters the ability to use a scan token at the cost of that auxiliary power, but it's not something they can normally do. And last we have torpedo attack. 4 points. 4 attack, range 1 to 2. Spend your target lock and place 3 time tokens on this card to perform the attack. You can fire this weapon from your forward or rear firing arcs, and no ship can be equipped with more than 1 torpedo attack upgrade. Kind of nice later on when your ships are beat up a little bit. You can bump that attack value back up to 4. It can only be fired every couple turns and requires a target lock like normal torpedoes, but the front or rear arc is kind of an interesting addition. I don't even think these ones have a rear arc, but you can cross-faction these onto other fighters. A lot of people don't think about the fact that fighter squadron upgrades can be used on any squadron. You just have to pay the penalty for them. The mission for this one is Advanced Assault. I haven't actually played them, as I mentioned in several of the other videos, but this one actually looks pretty interesting. It's a 180 points of Scimitar versus a 120 points of Romulans. Only 1 fighter squadron and then at least 1 other ship. And the goal is to get close enough to this planet to start dropping people off. To drop people off you have to lower your shields and not be cloaked. And then there's a whole section on deploying people to the planet. The idea is you're trying to retake the planet. And the Romulan player wins depending on how many people they drop off on the planet. The Dominion players win if they can destroy the Romulan players before they deploy enough people to the planet. Interesting scenario. It's another one that'd be interesting to try just to see. There we have our base for Scorpion Squadron 4. 90-degree front arc, no rear arc as I was saying. And our generic attack class squadron with the same. There's the models for them. It's a new one we haven't seen before. They're kind of dark. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. But interesting looking little ships. I remember from Star Trek Online. Not quite as powerful as the other fighters we've gotten, but still a nice addition. Overall, it's not a bad expansion. I've had a couple people tell me that they're worthless compared to the Federation and Cardassian ships. I think they're a mix in between. They're not as offensively powerful as the Cardassian ones. They're not as defensively powerful as the Federation ones. They do have some interesting upgrades. The torpedoes are kind of entertaining. Really wish they had a rear arc that they could make use of that, though. Some of the other upgrades can be entertaining. I don't see you using more than 1 or 2 of these, though, in a fleet, whereas the other ones, people like to swarm them as they have just different roles to fill. Anyway, if you're a Romulan player, you're probably going to want to pick up at least 1, if not 2. If you're not, again, the upgrades can be used on the other fighter ships if you pay the penalty, with the exception of like the cloaking device that's restricted to these only. But other than that, it's up to you if you want to pick them up or not. That's it for this one, and we'll see you in the next video.